Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on Nicola99. So as you can see, the beard is gone, November is over, which means it's time for Google Santa Tracker. We have a couple of weeks left until Christmas, around 20-ish days, so it's getting really close and exciting. So about 2 weeks ago, I made a video asking you guys what you wanted to see, and the majority of you guys said you wanted me to do weekly reviews like I've done in the past. So I've kind of changed the format of it in terms of like the quality of the editing, and it's edited differently, but it's pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna go through each day and kind of talk about the game, what I think, and if there's a link to it, I'll link you guys. There's a couple of opportunities for guys to participate in next week's episode, which you'll find out if you watch the video at its until the end. But without further ado, let's get started. So here is the map for this year's Santa Tracker. It's very, very similar to what they had last year. It seems like Google tends to change it about every 2 years, so maybe next year we'll get a different one, but I really liked this one last year, so I don't mind the fact that they didn't change it. In terms of what the buildings actually look like, it seems like there's a few different ones, but mostly the design is very similar. I don't know, it seems like they may have changed what the buildings are actually about, so maybe that's going to be a surprise for when we actually get the games released. Now this week we only had 4 days of buildings, but we had 4 things that were released on the first day, not counting the Android promotion for the app that they have. They did have the Android building, but that's more like promotion, so I'm not counting that one in. But there was 4 activities for us to kind of see, and I think that was pretty cool. And plus the 3 others from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of December, which is always fun. So let's kind of go through all these ones and see what they're all about. Now, the first thing they released that wasn't on a specific day, but they were released on the very first day, it's kind of like at the beginning of it, but not assigned to a specific day, is actually one of my favorite things that they did last year, because I really like the music in this minigame, but it's the dance studio. And the cool thing about this one is that you can actually share your dances. And so last year I did this where I asked you guys to share with me dances, and I would feature them in the next episode, and I really want to do that again because you guys seem to really like that. So basically for this one, as you can see on the screen, all you have to do is kind of pick different dance moves that you can do, and it kind of, you press play and then it does it for you, which is really cool. So what I want to have you guys do is, if you want to create your own dance and then send it to me by just putting the link to your dance in the comments, then I'll put it in the video for next week, because I want to do that again, and I think it's really cool to kind of engage with you guys a little bit. And so if you don't know how to share it, once your dance is completed and you press play, your dance will play through, and then at the end of it there's going to be a little screen that's going to say share, and then you'll get a link for it, which is really cool. And that way you can share that link. That way I can see it and I can record it and put it in the video. So if you want to do that, you can do so. Another thing they released on the first day, but isn't really assigned to the first day, is something we've had in the past, which is the cultural differences on how people celebrate Christmas around the world. So I think it's really cool, especially for people who may not know about different cultures and want to learn about how different people celebrate Christmas and stuff. It's a really cool idea. I think I really like that idea. And they have a lot of countries. It seems to me like there's more countries than last year, but I could be wrong. But it just seems like there's more countries than last year. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can kind of explore yourself if you want. And yeah, it's a really, really cool idea, and they've had it in the past years, and I think it's a good addition. Now, the last thing they actually released that wasn't assigned to the first day, but they still released it on the first day, that was the airport. Now, the airport's been around for pretty much all 3 years that I've done it, and it's the same thing. There's not really anything special about it. It's just, elves coming back to the North Pole and everything, and you can kind of play around with how fast the conveyor belt goes, and it kind of messes up the clothing. It's been the same thing for a couple years, but I guess it's always, fun to see that on the first day and kind of be like, oh, it's finally happening, it's finally Christmas time. It kind of gets you in that mood. So in that sense, it's a really cool thing. Now, the first thing they actually released on the first day that was assigned to the first day specifically is actually our first game, apart from the dancing game, but this is the first actual game, and it's the present drop thing. So basically you have to try to build with conveyor belts and different things. You have to try to build a path for that present to go from the drop to the little box. I don't know how you call that, but that's basically what it is. And I think it's been around. It was here last year, I believe, and I think I really like this game because it forces you to think, and I've tried, kind of playing around with it, and it takes forever to beat the level. Like, I've tried, and I've struggled on level 3, I think it was, and it was really hard. So it's definitely a cool game, and it kind of forces you to think, and it's a really good game when you're kind of bored and stuff, so definitely really cool. Now, on December 2nd, what they released was the first video of the year. It's always been like that. Every year on the 2nd of December, there's a video that comes out. And this year's video is actually pretty cool. So I'll let you guys watch it, and I'll come back after that and kind of talk about it. So as you can see, the video is a very different theme from last year, but I have to say I really like this theme this year because I think it's so different from what we saw in the previous years. Previous years it was Santa going to a city or being on a cruise ship, kind of enjoying his holiday, and now it's actually him like working to try to improve and stay fit. So it's definitely really cool, and I love the fact that they actually included the VR. So every year Google tends to add some kind of product placement in these videos. Like I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, they had the Google glasses. Then last year, I don't remember what it was, or it was the phone, and I think also the watch. And so they definitely tried to incorporate like different things that they've done. And so this year since they released the VR headset, they decided to release that, and I think that's really cool. So definitely really nice addition, and I think it's a really cool video. So if you guys want to watch it on YouTube, I'll leave the link to it in the description so you guys can watch it. Now, the third day was something that's been here last year, and I believe it's been here the year before, and that is the translation library, I guess. And I think that's a really cool thing because you're able to kind of understand how other languages, how you say certain things in other languages, and I think that's really cool. There's a lot of languages available. There's not many phrases, but they're the essential ones, I think. But I have to say my favorite language is the Elvish language. I just think it's really funny to kind of hear what the elves kind of speak like, because you can hear them speak like that in videos and kind of be able to understand like how to say certain phrases. And I guess if you really have a lot of time, you could try to break down. I guess if you really have a lot of time, you could try to figure names, and that could be pretty cool. So definitely very cool to see that back. And yeah, very cool to see that back. And yeah. Now the final activity for this week was another learning activity, and this one was about trying to program your own snowflake. And so that's really cool. I think they really did a good job at it. I don't remember this being in here last year, but I definitely think it's new, and I think I really like this because it's really cool. The fact that it's kind of like the dancing one, but with a snowflake, and it just really looks really cool because you can change the colors and you can change the shape and the size of the shape and stuff. So you can really have a lot of fun with it and play around with it. I just really quickly put together something, but you guys can play around with it. You can change the angle, the height and stuff, so it's really cool. So like I said with the dancing one, I invite you guys to kind of go on this, make your own snowflake, and at the end, once you're done, you can press next, and then you can see there's a sharing button at the bottom of your screen, and if you click on that, you get a link. If you want to share that with me as well, then you can do that by posting it in the comments, and I'll make sure to include that at the beginning of next week's video. So there's gonna be probably a lot of things at the beginning of next week's video because of the 2 things that you can share this week. but it's definitely very exciting, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys can create because there's so many possibilities with this. So I'm really excited. So that is it for this week's episode. I know it was a very short one, but you know, we were very unlucky with December starting in the middle of the week this year. But that means there probably will be an extra episode. Instead of 4 episodes, there'll be 5. Most likely, that's my guess. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Next week will be the second week with 7 days of content for you guys to watch. Make sure you put in your comments your link for the dance activity and the snowflake activity if you want to be featured in next week's episode. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are excited for the rest of the month. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you, like I said, comment, and if you're new to the channel and you want to see more content like this and support me, then click the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week with a new Santa Tracker video. Bye bye.